Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John, this is video Truder, and welcome back to Stellaris MegaCorp, where today I begin with a plan. That's right, I've got a plan. Everybody just flipping panic, why not get it out of your system right now? But it's a really good plan, I promise you, because sooner or later we're heading towards a war in heaven. And there's only 2 wars in heaven that can break out, which is kind of odd, by the way. Because, yeah, it can only be the spiritualists taking on the materialists, or the xenophiles taking on the xenophobes. Which is odd. Do you think the xenophobes would be able to have beef with literally anybody? And, like, you know, it would not be too much of a hand wave to say that the spiritualists could have beef with anybody due to some sort of mysterious religious heathen reason or something like that. The only one that can't be easily hand waved would be, like, xenophiles versus materialists. But I'm sure you could very easily write something that makes sense. I just feel like anyone should be able to go to war with anyone, because when there's only 2 possible wars in heaven, yeah, it's a bit too easy to figure out which way it's likely to go and which one you'd rather happen and all of that stuff. But never mind, that's the system we've got, and that has some very big consequences for me. You see, the 2 possible wars are the xenophobes over here versus the xenophiles over here. Now, if that were to break out, that would be broadly fine. That's going to mainly involve the north of the galaxy. Okay, fine, the Emissarians might be a little bit squished during that war, but for the most part, I'm a very, very long way away from it. Doesn't really involve me, probably devastating to these guys, but yeah, that's probably a good thing. The other thing that could happen would be the spiritualists taking on the materialists. That would be a disaster for me, because literally every single space lane between the actual spiritualists down here, and no, sorry, you're the materialist, yes, you're the materialist, and the spiritualists up here is my space. Like, literally every single lane actually belongs to me. The entire war would be fought inside my space and dangerously close by to my capital. Because, yeah, there's my capital there, and here are the materialists. And I cannot join up to these guys. The thing is, you don't really want to become a vassal of an awakened ascendancy anyway, but you really definitely can't do it if you're playing in the vassal style, which I am, because if you accept subjugation to a fallen empire when they wake up, then all of your vassals become their vassals, and then when you later manage to reclaim your independence, your vassals don't come with you. They remain the vassals of the fallen empire. So if I sign up with any fallen empire, I'm basically handing them like a third, a half of the entire flipping galaxy that I can't get back, short of repeatedly declaring war on them, which I most definitely do not want to do, because getting independence from a fallen empire is hard enough without literally all of my vassals being on their side at the same time. So that can't happen. Can't sign up with the fallen empires. But the League of Non-Aligned Systems is technically a federation, and I'm criminal heritage, so I'm barred from joining a federation, meaning there's nothing I can do in the war in heaven aside from try and stay independent. And I don't really see being independent as a good option when the war might be going on here. So I need to make sure that the war doesn't happen there, that the war in fact goes on over here. This would be where I want the war to occur. And that means we've got to make sure there can't be a spiritualist versus materialist war. And the only way I can guarantee that is making sure there either aren't any spiritualists or aren't any materialists. We're beginning preparations for war with a fallen empire to make sure that the war in heaven can't happen on my flipping doorstep. And I've got a particular interest in the materialists going down, because I think they just come with better worlds than the spiritualists do, because the archives over here has some really fun buildings. In particular, yeah, the Master Archive, providing huge amount of archivist jobs and generally producing a hell of a lot of science. A nice thing to inherit. The spiritualists just, yeah, don't really produce much of interest on their worlds, which is interesting. But yeah, the planets of the materialists contain all sorts of wonderful technological marvels. Now, because of the nebula, we can't actually see what's going on over in materialist space. But all fallen empires are broadly created equal, so their fleets are going to be all pretty much of the same design and mostly the same defensive layout. And here's where things get interesting, because if we actually just have a little look-see over here, say, yeah, we've got the xenophiles who have got fleets of about 80,000 to 70,000 times 4, so we're looking at like 200 to 300,000 strength total. Now, obviously, I can't take that on. Not a flipping chance. I've got like 100 to 200,000 on a good day. So I most definitely can't take that on directly. Unless, of course, I could hard counter their fleets. You see, there's a reason I overwhelmingly favour laser and plasma weaponry on my ships. It's because, yeah, it gives you bonus damage to hull and armour, with the only downside being shield. But the vast majority of the time, shielding is not where most of the enemy's strength is going to be. The Leviathans overwhelmingly tend to rely on large amounts of hull points and armour. And yeah, in the case of this particular battleship, we're looking at 3,000 hull points, another 2,000 armour, so 5,000 total, only 2,500 in shielding. So the vast majority of those hit points are in hull and armour, so therefore weapons that give bonus damage to hull and armour, very, very useful indeed. But the Fallen Empire ships are a little bit on the different side. They have about 4,000 hull points, 6,000 points in armour, and 10,000 points in shield. So about half their strength is in shield, and a further 6,000 points in armour, meaning only 20% of their health is hull points. So if I could just bypass those shields, say, then we'd be able to tear those guys apart very, very quickly indeed, because they strongly depend on this highly advanced shielding and armor technology. So it sure is bloody convenient that phase disruptors are things. So for small and medium weapon slots, yep, 100% shield penetration, 100% armor penetration. I can actually fit that on all of the small slots. And as for my battleships, the arc emitter. So once again, it's shield and armor penetration to a range of 150. It is relatively weak next to the Tachyon Lance and the Giga Cannon, both about 150 per time. This is only 80 per time, but then that's level 1. I'm actually working on the second tier of that right now. So if I go over technology, yeah, in 42 months I'll have the focused arc emitter, so that's just over 100 damage per time. So a little bit less, but being able to completely bypass 80% of a Fallen Empire's strength, I think our artillery ships will be able to tear them apart, because that's what Fallen Empire fleets are made up of. A small number of powerful capital ships, and we can just destroy them with the last murder. Except, there's a problem with my plan. And that, of course, is upgrading is extremely bloody expensive in this game. In fact, it's pretty much as expensive as just buying a new fleet. So why not just buy a new fleet in that case? Which leads me to the conclusion, I may as well just throw away this fleet or significantly damage it in a couple of big assaults I need to get on with against powerful enemies. And then, when I reinforce it, I'll just reinforce it with the new designs and everything will be flipping lovely. And that means today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going on a Leviathan hunt. In particular, the enigmatic fortress. We know that is over here, hidden inside a nebula. So we need to knock that down, because that comes with some nice little tech upgrades I could do with. The only downside is there's no large class weapon that actually gives you bypass to shields. Because, yeah, the actual phase disruptor thing is only for small and medium slots. Now I could actually, yeah, just retrofit out all of my ships here with 4 medium slots and a hangar bay. I mean, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, under the circumstances, if this is what I'm trying to do, sure, why not? Honestly, it's all about this here spinal mount. This is what's going to carry the day right here. And if we're going to be using weapons with a range of 50, then that means we need to close rank to, yeah, line position, not artillery. This is all very peculiar, but it's the best I've got to hard counter the Fallen Empires. Also, last time I may have forgotten to actually, you know, equip decent quality weapons into my Titans. So don't worry, we've got that fixed now, everything's under control. And here we go, my fleets are on the move in a beautiful little V pattern right there, heading down towards the enigmatic fortress. I may as well also deploy, yeah, construction ships or whatever if you guys aren't doing anything. Where's the other one, by the way? You're over... Ah, you're all the way over there. Are you actually done? Are we actually done setting all of this? Yes, we appear to be done setting all of this up. Marvellous, well done. So you head back over here. In fact, actually, that's very close to where you are already. So that is flipping spot on. And I believe, actually, yes, the Science Ship and Foundation can go and help out too, because I can't remember whether it's a construction ship or a science vessel you need to actually invade the actual enigmatic fortress once you've actually taken down its defences. I can't recall, so I'll just send both to speed this along. Now, while the ships are on the move, what else have we got down here? We've got, the Tianki matriarch. I don't know what you actually give, by the way, because I've never fought you before, but you do have no shield, but plenty of armor and hull. So my current fleet, before I upgrade it or replace it with plasma weaponry, should do very well against you. And over this is this is the dimensional horror. So we don't want to cause trouble with the dimensional horror, because the dimensional horror would just give me jump drives. And I don't want jump drives, because just for once I'd like something that's not the flipping unbidden. And then we've got the Stellarite Devourer over here, who is actually nothing but hull points. Now, I think the main reason you'd want to take this guy out is, yeah, all these worlds can be turned into, like, good worlds that you might want to settle, if I recall correctly. Because, yeah, if we just actually, like, kill him because he's eating the sun or whatever, then we can warm up these planets and make them nice planets. Which I guess I may as well do. Again, with nothing but hull points, my plasma fleet is extremely well set up to deal with him. And as we're basically just burning this fleet down to replace it from scratch anyway, why not? What have we got over here? Synthetics. So my robots are about to become better at their jobs, but they're also about to become self-aware, which Mass Effect 1 told me was a bad thing, but I'm going to assume it's actually a good thing. Also, housing is getting a bit tighter on the Empire. Yeah, I wouldn't mind having every city representing +1 housing. That'd be nice in only 10 months, spot on. I was just going down to my species list to check out how the robots feel about their new self-awareness, and I'm slightly horrified by the number of different species that have been having sex with the giant Venus flytraps. Like the Ganvias, that's fine. You're both plants, that's just cross-pollination. That's not weird at all. But apparently cunning Romans have been having sex with the Venus flytraps. I don't even know what a cundant is. The Polysimus, okay, you're seaweed, that's fine. That's all 100% fine. The Twitter birds, they've been having sex as well. And then, why are you down under here? You the guys who I've in some way... I'm guessing there might be an element of repugnant on one of you. Fine, okay, that's all okay then. I'm just thrilled that none of the owls had sex with the giant Venus flytrap, alright? We've got good flipping taste. So right now my robots are still listed as, servitude only. Now, I would potentially like to, upgrade you to full citizens. Would you like to be full citizens? Because you can be full citizens. You're self-aware and all of that business. Here we go. I actually have to pass a law about this. So right now, artificial intelligence is officially just servitude. So if I give you guys citizen rights, then any self-aware machine that fulfills the criteria of possessing true artificial intelligence, which I think is now all of them, then as a result of that, they get rights but also obligations, so they require consumer goods upkeep. You know what? We're going to do that. Congratulations, everybody now gets rights. That shouldn't even cost me that much. I do not have that many robots floating around my space. Also, while I'm thinking about it, right now I'm actually just getting a huge amount of consumer goods in from the consumer benefits trade policy, and then straight after that, I'm actually selling them. And that's not really working for me right now, because the price of consumer goods is basically non-existent because I've just crashed the market. I mean, if anything, I should start buying them up cheap now. Ooh, that's interesting. Yeah, okay. Let's actually change the trade policy here. Best thing I could do would probably be, as energy we're just swimming in right now, let's go over to Marketplace of Ideas. Take the Unity, and then rush towards Ascension, because then, once I've finished the final tree, I can get into the Unity Ambitions. The Ambitions are probably the most powerful thing I could actually use to boost my empire right now, so go on, Marketplace of Ideas. That's just flippin' spot on there. However, if I'm about to be rebuilding the fleet, I'm going to need a huge amount of alloys. Would I like to actually convert myself into, alloys up, but consumer goods down? I mean, I could probably afford it, to be honest. I can just buy them. I've flooded the market. I can just buy them back. Screw it. Let's go over to a militarized economy. We are doing a complete fleet rebuild right now. Why not? You know, I really should have done those things one at a time so I could measure the impact on the economy. But I didn't, so here we are. Now, as for the beast, yes, we're going to be needing... Okay, we're just working on some research complexes right now. I think we're going to be needing more foundries. Get working on that, and that leads to... that leads to a little bit of housing, together with the 10 additional jobs. Now, for the moment at least, this place is swimming in housing, and also amenities. Could I replace a leisure arcology, potentially with... I probably could, actually. I could probably very easily do with swapping out a leisure arcology for a foundry. So replace that with another foundry, please. We just need as many alloys as possible. And especially now we've got down that useless resort world, Eden Prime, which, because I can't build cities, is just going to be very small, because there's just never going to be enough housing to go around. So that's just going to be a tiny world. Don't even worry about that. But it is boosting amenities across the Empire by 15%. It's a nice place people like going on holiday to. So as a result, yeah, I can start retiring some of the amenities elsewhere in the Empire in order to make more space for more productive stuff. Also, I should really get rid of these clone vats, because I do not need my populations growing at plus 33% anymore. We've got plenty of people. That would probably be more useful being something else. Alright, here we go. 4 decent-sized fleets. This should not be too difficult to do. So all we need to do is basically order you all to move over into this direction. And First Murder should, just because it's the fastest, get there first. But pretty much everyone's going to warp in at once. So this is going to be a big moment for us. This is going to be a lot of flipping firepower suddenly coming in. Right, everybody begins attacking. First up, we've just got to take down their defensive stations and platforms. Those are going down very, very quickly indeed. It's got a fair amount of shielding, so that's slowing me down for the time being. But once the shielding is taken out of the way, we'll start taking this out a lot more quickly. We are totally taking some damage, but then that was the point. You always take a little bit of damage taking on a Leviathan, so this here is the right time to do it. And now, yeah, we are just destroying their stations. Spot on. So we've totally taken a little bit of damage there, but honestly, not a huge amount. And again, we can just replace it with new quality stuff anyway. We may as well throw away ships now, because we're about to do a full rebuild anyway. Alright, now, Enigmatic Fortress, obviously, we want to explore it. Now, last time I tried to do this event, it repeatedly bugged out, and the station just kept waking up over and over. I wonder if they've fixed that by now. I don't know. Also, hang on, sitlog here. Yeah, Enigmatic Fortress. What do you actually need to send in? So, Demolitions team is available, or local power surge. Yeah, we want to do this sciencey like. I think I remember the correct solution to this, because as long as you've actually got some dark matter, you can basically just shove some dark matter into it, and that solves things nice and easy. And I've actually got plenty of dark matter. I've got plenty of black holes dotted around my empire. Not a problem at all. So I just need one science ship. That's fine. I do have those guys ready to go. Also, hello. Unidentified alien vessels? What exactly are these guys? Oh, it's the bloody caravan that refuses to speak to me. That's literally inside my space. Guys, talk to me. You've spoken to everyone else. Yeah, for some reason these guys are just bugged out. They refuse to communicate with me. In fact, the caravan fleet appears to be heading directly over towards the Enigmatic Fortress. I wouldn't, guys. Sometimes it bugs out and actually starts attacking. I'd keep your flipping distance if I were you. I'm still working on subduing it. Alright, in we come with the science vessel. So that is all looking good there. We've also got ourselves a construction ship nearby, ready to lock down this system if that's what I want to do. Depends how valuable it is. So we're working on that immediately. Just going to take a moment to finish the scanning. And then I think we get ourselves a handful of events, multiple choice stuff, which hopefully I remember how to solve. Here we go. We've stabilised the ship's connection to the power system of the fortress. We need to decide how much energy to supply in the first surge. Since the technology is unfamiliar, the exact amount is difficult to determine. Well, if we don't know what it is, go for the safe option. Alright, too small to make a distance. And then opened up an airlock. Beautiful. Let's hope we can get them out again afterwards. And now I think we just wait for the next event to show up. While just keeping my fleet here, ready to open fire in case this thing wakes up again. Ah, yes, here we go, the slightly confusing puzzle situation. So we've got ourselves, the away team finds their way blocked by a massive bulkhead. The team report that there is a recessed alcove to their right, housing a pedestal and a contraption wrought in the same black metal as the fortress itself. They believe the device is key to opening up the bulkhead. The leader of the explorers describes it as 3 upright poles, spaced equidistant across the top of the pedestal, with 3 rings, metal tori of varying sizes placed around the leftmost pole, the smallest at the top, the largest at the bottom. Now, if I recall correctly, you can just actually go and pay the curators to basically tell you the solution to this. And if you don't, there's basically no way to know, you're just guessing. I think it was, yeah, rearranging, wasn't it? Where you just kind of arrange it so that the smallest is at the bottom and the largest at the top, like you're playing a children's game. So if we do that, A moment of silence, vague scraping noises, and... yay! Cheers! We have made some progress. And now I think we just need to plug in some dark matter, which we have plenty of, and the job will be complete. What have we actually just got there? Ah, city districts. Spot on. Ah, now here's an important one. Synth leaders. So the ability to actually have robots ascending to positions of admirals, generals, scientists, all the rest of it. Now this is important because robots are immortal, meaning they can get up to level, is it 8? I think we can get people up to level 8 at this point. And once they get up to level 8, they'll just stay there until they're killed in combat or whatever, because they're immortal. So basically, it's very, very useful indeed. So go on then, why not? Oh, blimey, I just noticed how bad the situation was with the consumer goods. Right, that's probably because we're still selling 500 of them for, like, no money. So let's stop that trade immediately and instead actually start buying them. Because, yeah, they're actually extremely bloody cheap right now. So actually, I would like to buy those consumer goods I've just been selling. Now, I just stopped selling 500 of them, suggesting I'm going to need... yeah, about 200 to balance the books. Right now, they're ludicrously cheap. So, yeah, I see no reason not to actually be buying up to the cost of 3, but for now, that is going to be, yeah, that's going to be fun, because it's going to be nowhere near 600. So, add that trade in right there. How are we doing on strategic resources, by the way? I'm massively under for rare crystals. I need to, like, buy loads more of them. Right, just up that, please. We're still buying few enough of these that it shouldn't make a massive difference. Yeah, that should be fine as well. Right, get that going. So, okay, now we're barely losing at all. That is marvellous. And the price is holding steady at 0.8, but it's gonna start going up because now no one's selling, but I'm buying. But just for the time being, it seems to be holding about that level. So, this works for me. And we are getting a lot of alloys in very fast, which is good, because we're going to start spending them really damn fast any moment. So we've reached the geometric center of the fortress, and now we need to figure out how to power the thing. And dark matter is how it's done. So I've got myself two choices here. I can either supply dark matter or use force. Well, I'm going to be honest, supplying dark matter definitely seems like a good idea here. So yeah, I can do a special little project back in Ospra to just kind of like study stars or whatever. Or yeah, try and force the dark matter reactor. Terrible idea. Or just flipping supply it with some dark matter. Let's just get that done. So the science ship is already there. So just take the dark matter, plug it in. I'm just swimming in the stuff right now. I've got 1,800 of it. I don't know what to flip and do with it. It doesn't seem to do very much right now. But, of course, this is why I came here, because this place unlocks some upgrades that I assume use dark matter, and that will be perfect for my brand new reformed fleet. And there we go. We have managed to get this thing working again, and that gives me some tech progress towards the enigmatic encoder and the enigmatic decoder, together with just a giant pile of science. Spot on. So yeah, two little auxiliary slot things here. We've got ourselves tracking and chance to hit up, or evasion up. So, yeah, for my faster ships, who have no real reason to actually have the thrusters in terms of sublight speed, those are probably good things to get done, though they are a little bit on the expensive side to research. Let's just get the focused arc emitter going right now, because once we've got that done, we can start work building the battleships, because the battleships don't want those, the battleships want the thrusters, because the battleships are the slowest thing in the fleet, and the fleet can only travel as fast as its slowest ship. So we can start building up the battleships at least, as long as we've got the focused arc emitters. Right, everyone start heading south into Zikmok space while the... Okay, why would you be doing... Alright, fine. If you want to use the wormhole, I guess you can use the wormhole. Nice to know that we've actually got a shortcut right there. So, from here, that leads over to here. So, not really much of a shortcut to be honest, but I guess it might be useful under certain circumstances. So you guys just, yeah, head over here. Let's take out the Tianki matriarchs. We should be able to do that without too much difficulty, and I've no idea what that gives me, because I believe that was added in by distant stars, so I've never actually defeated that before, so off you guys go. And honestly, given that exotic gas isn't even that expensive, I feel like I could just keep, yeah, exotic gases as fuel permanently on, plus 15% sublight speed, that's nice. And this is what the nanites are for over here, nanite actuators, so, wow, research speed up. Okay, yeah, that makes flipping taking out L-Space worth it on its own. I can just keep that on permanently, because honestly, I'm just swimming in those nanites right now, so go on. Let's actually just have research speed up 10%. Nice, my research is accelerating well there. Yeah, now we're only a year out from the focused arc emitters. Lovely. Now just check the shape of the market here. Yeah. So, these things are getting slowly more expensive as I buy back the coffee makers that I myself sold, but the price is slowly going up. It's up to, yeah, it's just past 1. Originally it was at 0.8. So, the market is recovering from my ridiculous level of consumer goods dumping, and I just need, like, yeah, like maybe 10. Actually, no, let's just get another 10 in just in case, because we have got a little bit of growth going on at the same time. So, get that done, and how about food, by the way? I could do with some food as well. And sorry, I need to actually save that before I go over to something else. Current price of food is extremely low, actually. So, go on then. As I'm suffering a little bit of a food deficit, just for the time being, let's just actually buy 35 just to have a little bit spare. And I'm willing to pay up to 3 for that. It's only 105. Yeah. That's fine. That'll do just fine right there. I could probably actually buy slightly less in the way of minerals for the time being because, yeah, I'm not going to have a huge amount of use for... Actually, no. I am actually buying more alloy forges right now, so I will need more minerals. Okay, the situation seems to be under control anyway, even though I'm not making a huge surplus anymore. That's a good point. I do have all this dark matter sitting around, and I'm not using it for anything right at this exact moment in time. Yeah, I'm gaining 3 a month, and it's actually selling for not a bad price. I'd be willing to sell that 3 a month for 15, say, so that's 45 right there. And that means I can slightly reduce the amount of alloys I'm selling as well, just by a small amount. Maybe I'll just sell 2 of those, just in case I need those for building any of the new stuff I'm just about to start researching. There we go, that's a bit better. Though then again, New Cornwall, despite being, you know, a devastated tomb world, does have a bit of space for some agricultural districts. May as well get one of them down. But other than that, my worlds are actually pretty much full up. I don't have much space to expand here at all. I might need to get down another world just for the sake of actually having, you know, somewhere to actually send people, because right now my growth is tailing off because I just don't have enough housing on any of my planets. They're all pretty much full up. Well, when I say full up, of course, that's not really a hard cap in this game. I could just replace a district, like, say, on Devon. I could remove a mining district and build a city in its place to provide the extra housing to encourage further growth, but do I want to do that? On Devon, probably worth doing, actually. I've got enough jobs. I just need more pops to fill them. So, yeah, replace one mining district with a city. Go on, then. Oh, bloody hell, the Caravanneers have finally decided to make contact with me! Wow, okay. And it's not all of them, because, yeah, there's like 3 different families or something. Possibly the other 2 are dead, I'm not sure. So, we are the New Mystic Order, and our wares bear the holy seal of Numa, goddess of fortune. She has long whispered of a distant civilization around Ospra and the wonders we could achieve together. Okay, not sure if you're a comm person. Mentioning my homeworld by name might be a bit too specific, to be honest. Yes, indeed, for modest donations, the wonders of the universe. Alright, greetings. Let's see what we've got here. Show us your wares. What would you actually like? Patterns in the energy flow. They are everywhere, yet no one sees. Numa alone can predict the divine ebb and flow of the stock market. Sorry, your god predicts the stock market. Alright, fine. You know what? If you want to worship an algorithm, that's fine by me. And if you're willing to sell it to me, even flipping better. So, as always, if you need time to consider, we can notify you before we leave your territory. Yeah, go on then. For just 3,500 energy, I will pick up that bit of technology. Research complete. Marvellous. I've just got that research right there. What does that even do, by the way? So, energy credits from jobs up by... Oh, bloody hell. That was one hell of a jump. Well, possibly that's because some market changes just came into effect as well. It's probably not 100% that. I probably changed too many things at once. Okay, that's good. Apparently I'm so good at the stock market now, all my generators produce more energy, because reasons. One thing of note here, exotic gases are starting to get more and more expensive to produce. Right now, yeah, I'm buying those at like 18 a go. Minerals, meanwhile, remain extremely cheap for the time being. So, a mineral is only like 3, whereas that's like 18. In fact, yeah, it being only 2.7. At this point, it's probably cheaper for me to start producing my own exotic gases, even though for the time being, yeah, it's still very much worth my while just buying crystals. But at some point, that will stop being true. Now, I believe New Cornwall has plenty of space for all of that business, so, where are the gas harvesters? I know we have that technology. There we are, exotic gas refineries. So that takes 10 minerals and converts that into gas. Go on then, let's get some of that underway. For the time being, at least, that is a good thing for us to do. And all fleets appear to have made it into position, ready to actually assault the matriarch. At this exact moment in time, the matriarch is... she's on the far side of the galaxy, but won't be for long. This is probably a decent spot right here. I don't know what range she's got on her. Unfortunately, yeah, Leviathan, she can't figure it out. So, screw it. We're going in. So, everybody begin assaulting the Tiyanki matriarch. Don't know what that's going to do. Could be flipping anything. How are my science vessels getting on, by the way? The science vessels should be almost done with all of this research by now. Complete. And hang on, what research is that? Yeah, there we go. You're just going to scan those 2 planets, go through the wormhole, and life will be good. Oh, and there's that focused arc emitter. Oh, sexy, sexy stuff. And there's kind of no reason not to go for the sapient combat AI. I've already kind of researched the synths, and they're already marked as red and dangerous. But probably I want to get on with, yeah, the enigmatic encoder. That's my priority. So, 51 months for the time being, and that's a bit slow. You're only level 3. And I do have plenty of energy for now, at least. You know what? Curators, I haven't done this yet, but how would you like to sell me a scientist? They want... oh, it's only 1,000. Oh, that's nothing. Oh, we should have done that long ago. Here we are, the Mentat, starting at level 5, and also a curator, so bonus. So that is going to go over to 50 months. Really? It was 51 months before. I was kind of expecting better given you're 2 levels higher and you're literally the Mentat. Oh, also we're attacking the Tiyanki matriarch, we should really be paying attention to. So, as we're actually planning and hoping for, obviously last murder is at the back and first murder is at the front. And you guys are potentially going to run into a little bit of difficulty here. What does this thing even do? Oh! It's got a great big laser beam, but I think it just wasted it on a single flipping... oh, yeah. Yeah, you can have all the whole points you want. I am bringing the lasers to bear. Yeah, we were just perfectly set up to deal with her. She stood no flipping chance. So, this is marvellous. So, she has died. Or so... oh. Hello. Strange movement coming for the... oh, is there going to be a baby? Oh, can we get a baby? Can we get a little baby matriarch who works for me? And from the belly of the beast, a mysterious vessel. Hang on. A mysterious vessel, covered in fluids, damaged by digestive juices, blasts its way out of the corpse of the fallen Tiyanki matriarch. Our fleet stands at the ready, but the ship immediately powers down its weapons and engines after emerging. Hello! You're an orc! So... there was an orc in there. Hello, you're Captain Reth Undol of the AH-4B. The Ahab. Okay, fine. Whatever. So long have I suffered in the caustic bowels of the fell beast. Decades ago I came to hunt it to repay a debt long overdue. Fine, so this is literally Orc Moby Dick. Beautiful. And it would appear we've got ourselves a new ship that's willing to join up. Well, that's kind of cool. And you may serve us, but we're scrapping your ship. Oh, that's mean. No, we're not doing that. And then welcome aboard, or just your ship will do. You know what? This guy is more than welcome. Welcome aboard. So, there we are. There's the corpse. And oh, it went squish. I feel bad now. Right. So, you are the Ahab. And you actually have your... you've actually got your own personal fleet. You're actually an admiral. So you are... hang on, what level are you? Level 5. Not bad at all, really. Has cautious, so ship weapon range up 20%. And also Hell's Heart. Fire rate up, ship weapon damage up, sublight speed up. Evasion, however, is down as his combat disengagement chance. I tell you what, this guy could potentially make an excellent addition to Last Murder. With additional range and fire rate, he could be an excellent admiral, though he is... he's got himself all sorts of weird stuff going on here. So, whirlwind missiles. Range of 100, range of 100, range of 80, range of 80. Those are just range of 40. This is an odd little ship, to be honest, and its speed is... Oh, wow, its speed is 306. A battleship with speed 306. That's very rare. Okay, well, this is fascinating. Plenty of health, though. Like, yeah, 10,000 hull points almost. Lovely. Alright, last murder. May as well get you involved in here, because, yeah, I'm pretty sure we've got space for you. So, you... Welcome to the team! And also, how old are you, by the way? You're 33. Ooh, you'll be around for a long time yet. Oh, this is very good indeed. Right, you two. Sorry, you... Get out of the way. You merge. There we go. This is a very peculiar fleet. So, now it's got Ahab in it, together with the automated dreadnoughts. And they're just going to chill out together. It's marvellous. And yes, indeed, the previous admiral has just stepped aside automatically in favour of Reth Undal, basically acknowledging he was the better leader. So this here, this is flippin' marvellous, yeah. Cautious and fire rate up and damage up. This fleet is going to be a lot more powerful with him in command. This is spot on. Now, this system that the enigmatic fortress was actually in, is it worth me colonizing it in any way? We've got Oreb 2 over here. Pretty much the tiniest world you could imagine. Nothing of note aside from predatory plants. No, 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 back off. Back off. Even as a research world, it's not worth it. It's way too small. And this world over here, which is frozen, has nothing of interest and nothing of interest. Not a huge number of anything. Nope. Honestly, this can just be left to the Ganvius. They're welcome to it. And I'm going to leave the dimensional horror alone because it's done nothing to me and I have no interest in attacking it whatsoever. I don't want anyone to have jump drives, so it gets to just stay alive. And that just leaves the Stellar Devourer, which looks like, yeah, it's got nothing but hull points, so go on then. That should be an easy pick-off for this fleet as well. Now, if I need myself a new world, there's plenty floating around. Yeah, right flipping here. Some of them a little bit on the -5. Interesting. This place has -5 cities allowed on it. Intriguing. I swear one of these was actually pretty good. Yeah, Trast is okay as a mining world. Tiny, though. That's a bit of a problem. And then Clue is also tiny. I swear there was one that was... There we go. Cruise Cocoon, which has a marvellous name, together with, yeah, the capability to have a very large amount of generators and also mines on it. That would not be bad at all. Here we are, some wise owls. They do the job very nicely indeed. So you guys get on there. Cruise Cocoon. I'll have to have a think about that. What did we name this? Ah, yes, of course. This over here was New Cornwall. So we've had Cornwall, and we've had New Cornwall, and we've had Devon. Right, well then... I suppose there's only one real logical course of action. Welcome to Somerset, which if you're not from the UK is not just a misspelt version of where the High Elves live in the Elder Scrolls, it's also a British county, which is right next to Devon. Now what is going on with my energy right now? Because we are consuming more than I'd like at the minute. Why am I losing energy? Probably because, yeah, trade's not what it once was, and I'm guessing the market's not looking so hot. Okay, what do I need to sell to make up the shortfall? Ah, there's the problem. It's that, yeah, the consumer goods are getting more and more expensive to purchase, so I should really start just producing some more of my own there to avoid, yeah, the problems of an elastic market. You know what, we've got the influence, let's just capacity overload for the next 12 years. That's energy credits up. That should sort itself out. As soon as we actually enter January, there we go. That's more like it. A healthy, but not exactly ridiculous surplus. Alright, so the beast is looking good so far. We're up to 130 metal workers, and that is worth plus 665 alloys. But of course, some of that is actually being eaten by... upkeep, yeah. Right now, our fleet is actually eating 200 alloys a month just to maintain itself, in what I assume is supposed to represent, like, you know, repairs, just standard day-to-day maintenance. So, could I have some more? Is there any way that I can get away with a little bit more than that? Housing is okay for the time being, but not ridiculous. If I were to swap out... Hang on. How much is a leisure arcology actually worth? Could I get away with... Yeah, if I were to actually swap out one more leisure arcology... Then again, actually, I've got a spare space right now, so screw it. Just build another foundry. Keep flipping going. And here we go. Apparently my storage capacity for alloys is 23,000, and we've hit it. And that means it's time to start doing some new building. Now, I'm not actually done with the enigmatic encoder yet, so I can't actually build anything new in terms of corvettes, because I'll probably be wanting to install that on all my corvettes. However, if we just go over to Last Murder, here we go, we can reinforce that, and all the new ships that are arriving will be of the new designs. And for the time being, yeah, I've actually bought en masse a bunch of exotic gases just to keep me going. Plenty of rare crystals too. Yeah, we'll be absolutely fine there. So Last Murder, begin reinforcing. Also, for some reason, the game kept insisting on building at the terminal egress, so I've actually just dismantled that starport just so the game would stop flipping using it. So, once again, let's reinforce. There you go. Now you're using Ospra, which you should have been using all along, because Ospra has got, like, the Fleet Academy and all of that business. And there's food from jobs up 5%. That is very, very useful indeed. Ooh, climate restoration. I don't need that for any reason other than to just see what's going on in the L cluster, which I'm kind of curious about, because colonizing the L cluster just feels like a nice thing to do. And the system survey of where the Tianki matriarch was, that's done as well. Aww, the corpse is just there. It's just going to float there forever. Well, I'm really sorry. I feel kind of bad about that now. You didn't really ask for trouble. You just wanted to be left alone. Right, these worlds. What do we know about these? Ah, by any chance, are worlds that spawn with the same space as the Leviathan actually something useful? So, crystalline caverns. So, okay, rare crystals. Decent generator world. Decent amount of food could be produced here as well. Not terrible, to be honest. Not terrible at all. Together with nothing special. Alright, generator world. Same basic deal. And, ooh, a Gaia world. Okay, decent size. Plenty of mines. Plenty of opportunities for agriculture. High gravity, so a little bit on the expensive side, but leads to max districts for no well-explained reason. And lush, so food is up, and agricultural districts are artificially boosted as well. Habitability is... You don't need habitability up on a Gaia world, but okay. Okay. What else have we got here? And a dust desert. That's volatile moats, isn't it? Yeah, moat harvesting traps +2. So a cheap way to get moats. Would this be worth me occupying just for that? Honestly, it wouldn't be a terrible idea, and it's not exactly a million miles from my territory. It's, yeah, barely a few jumps away. How much would that cost to get done? 262 influence. It's quite a lot, but then I would like a Gaia world. Yeah, go on, why not? Oh, and synth leaders. Nice, I like some synth leaders. And even more housing. Yep, get it done. It's super fast and my planets are overcrowded right now. Oh, but here's a big one. Traditions are available, and I think that's actually the last... No, not quite. It's the last but one. So that is governor level caps up by 2. Yeah, I really don't rate domination anymore, because, yeah, now it's nothing to do with vassals. Now it's to do with, like, workers and slaves and governors, but... Honestly, is that worth a tree by itself? I just feel next to the others it just doesn't feel that useful. Like, it's not good enough you'd rush to it in the early game when you're going to be wanting expansion and supremacy and prosperity. And then once you get into the mid-game, it just doesn't feel as useful as harmony or diplomacy. So it just kind of gets left to the end for me along with discovery. Yeah, I just feel like both of them could do with a little bit of a rework. And there we go, tiny little exclave over there. Not my first exclave, of course. We've got a tiny exclave over here in L space. So, you know what? We do have form for doing this sort of thing. Alright, all forces in position. Head over in this direction and begin your assault on the Stellar Devourer, who is currently eating a star, which I think we can all agree is a bad thing, because we need stars to live. And in comes, that's going to be First Murder. Coming in first, of course, immediately gets flipping destroyed by something. And behind them, in come the battleship. So this thing is going to do a fair bit of damage to us, unquestionably. It's down to about half health. And now in come the battleships and all the additional firepower. and it's going down. Yeah, we're good. We can safely take that out. So, study the corpse, obviously. That's going to require a science ship. I'm actually recording my science ships right now. So, I believe that's pretty much all of the Leviathans in the local area. That's just some void clouds. That's the dimensional horror. We're leaving that bastard alone. Alright, not getting involved with that in the slightest. That's just sapphire lurkers. I'm not sure where the Spectral Wraith's got itself, though, because he doesn't actually spawn at the beginning of the game. He spawns in the mid-game and starts moving around. So, he should be here by now, but I haven't seen him. Also, no sign of the dragon either, but he could just be in one of the little systems I haven't scanned yet. Like, I'm pretty sure I looked over here and didn't see anything too spectacular. Yeah, not sure where that is. It might be hidden in, like, some of the systems I just haven't seen. Like, yeah, there's a couple of systems over here we're totally blind about, just because the materialists have kept them locked away from the rest of the galaxy. So, I guess there could be something floating around here. Now, how much would the upgrades cost if what's left of my fleet I just wanted to actually modify at this point? So, 7,000. Actually, not as much as I was fearing it might. That's 4,000. And first murder, about 8,000, because, yeah, we're doing some very major changes to corvettes and destroyers. Okay, that's not too bad. Lads, everyone head home, back towards Ospra. Oh, now here's something interesting I didn't know was about to show up. Rare technology, nanite transmutation. So, a building that can convert a nanite into motes, crystals, and gases. And it's only got an upkeep of, yeah, 1 nanite and 5 energy, which is very low. And I've got nanites coming out of my flipping ears. Yeah, let's get that flipping done. Oh, and there's climate restoration. Yes, yes, this is good stuff. No, not a penal colony. We're not that sort of empire. And yeah, terraforming all of these worlds is only going to cost me 1,000 energy. So I may as well just terraform literally everything back to health. Why not? Now, you could argue I may have gone a bit overboard on the terraforming there, but I just kind of want to bring the L cluster back to life. Like, every single one of these planets I assume is just being rolled fresh. Some of them might turn out to be really good. Ah, speaking of which, this here Gaia world. We should definitely get this down. So, this is going to be, yeah, there's going to be plenty of farming. This could be a good food produce for me. Plenty of mining as well. Very, very nice indeed. And, yeah, some dust deserts. Anything I need to worry about? Habitability's down, but that doesn't matter. It's a Gaia world because the lushness actually counteracts that. Yeah, we can just basically produce a ton of food here. Maybe start selling it on the market, but honestly, probably won't be worth very much. Honestly, we may as well. Yeah, you know what? Screw it. It's a Gaia world. Let's get it down. Screw the admin cap. Also, I've got a lot of species in my galaxy these days, because they're all having sex with each other. So, there's a lot of half going on here. Yeah, you know what? A half Ganvious person who's half with something else, I don't even know. But it's made them charismatic, so they've talked me round. And this here is going to be our perfect farming community, which, rather embarrassingly, means that it ought to be called Eden Prime, which is what we're going to do, which means old Eden Prime needs to be renamed to Eden turned out to be not that great. I mean, it's useful to have a resort world, because it's passing on benefits to the rest of the Empire, but as an actual planet by itself, it's completely bloody useless. Ooh, and here we go. Ascension perks, and also Unity ambitions. Yeah, wait, hang on. Really? Are you 100% sure about that? Because what if I hadn't actually finished up the tree? What if I'd managed to get this done first? Ooh. I don't know. Interesting. Well, screw it. If that's going to get me Unity ambitions, I will get working on that. That's very useful. And, oh, purple across the board. I like having purple across the board. Ah, there's that nanite transmuter. Very, very useful indeed. Need to start slapping them down all over the shop. And we're running out of useful techs here. I think I might have still the odd forge dotted around. So, go on. We may as well have it researched, I suppose. Though, actually, kinetic batteries are really good. That's actually really, really damn good. Is it as good as just the proton torpedoes, though? Because they're... Yeah, hang on. This is kinetic batteries, so that's actually, yeah, bonus shield damage. It's a nice thing to have ready just in case we need it down the line, just to get the next upgrades done. Go on, then. Why not? And the upgrades have begun. They're going to take a while, though. Bloody hell. Yeah, upgrading is slow sometimes. And there we go. Finally, the enigmatic encoder. Spot on. We've been needing that for a flippin' while. And... we may as well get the decoder as well, but yeah, that's not as important to me. So, Energy weapon attack speed up. Go on, get that underway. Right, it's time to finish off the ship designs because, yeah, we are almost flipping there. Right now, what we've actually got installed is the afterburners. So that's sublight speed plus 20% and evasion plus 10%. But the sublight speed is mostly unnecessary because they're being slowed down by the rest of the fleet. So we may as well give these guys the encoders to get their evasion up by a further 10%. That's going to significantly increase their survivability. And with that ready to go, yeah. So now the upgrades are going to cost, say, just for First Murder, which is currently missing about 50 ships, 8,000 alloys in order to actually reinforce the fleet up to strength, and a further 8,000 to retrofit the existing fleet. Oh, bloody hell. Right, you know what? Get reinforcing. That's all absolutely fine. We may as well just mass produce literally everything. Reinforce the fleet over there as well. That's only another 6,000. That's not so bad. And Murder of Ganvius. Yep, sure. That's another 2,500 there. So, Prosperity should now have quite the bloody queue. Quite a few corvettes to be produced there. And Osprey, just the same. But we should now just be mass producing ships. And they are good quality ships. Oh, I think my terraforming's done. Right, so there's a lot of planets available in the L cluster now. I'm really hoping at least one of them is going to be good in some way. I kind of mixed and matched. There's a whole bunch of different ones on there because, yeah, different planets in terms of whether they're cold, dry, or wet have different propensities for spawning different types of deposits and whatever. So I kind of went for a good blend here. Oh, wow, this is beautiful. This is just flipping beautiful. So, okay, let's go through them. Nothing particularly of note. Also, nothing particularly of note. Not particularly interesting. These are all very small worlds. Okay, that one's a bit bigger, but not very good. Okay, reasonable, but a bit small. And then into okay-ish. And then not very good. And also not very good. Oh, hang on, special thing. A bubbling swamp. Hang on, what does a bubbling swamp do again? That is... gas extraction. Not terrible, but it's a small world without anything else good on it, so not really worth doing. Kind of bad. And then up here, that one is... Ooh, that one's nice. Okay, good-sized world with a huge amount of generator capability there. What's causing that? Now I'm curious. What's causing all of these... large numbers of waterfalls. It's basically just going to be a world that we dam up. Gotcha. And together with... Oh, no, it's not. No, it's flipping not. It's actually the underwater vents. So we're just kind of plugging whatever you plug onto underwater vents to energy them. And finally, here's the actual system where we actually took down the factory itself. And... No real evidence if any of these was the original home world of the creator of the little kind of nanotech that we actually managed to defeat in the end. We just don't know. Sort of reasonable, but nothing spectacular. Probably the only thing of note is all the way up here in Quanaga, where we've actually got ourselves, yeah, a decent enough generator world if I need that sort of thing. Okay, so we're up to 140 metal workers on the beast. I feel like we could potentially do with more, though. Can I get away with swapping something out here? I'm not sure whether I can. The problem is, we're already looking a bit dicey on the old consumer goods. So I don't really want to go swapping out any of the industrial arcologies. We're up to 14 of them already. If I swap out a leisure arcology, that's going to be, yeah, minus 50 to amenities. So amenities at that point will drop into the minus. Not a good idea. And these city districts are worth housing plus 15. Well, I've got housing plus 34 right now. So it might not be the worst thing in the world. But then again, yeah, jobs. I need to actually have enough people to fulfill the jobs. What do these do as well? Okay, I'd also lose 5 clerk jobs, but honestly, there's plenty of lower class jobs that are not being filled. Or at least I thought they were. Maybe they're... Oh no, they are actually being filled at the moment. Okay, maybe we could swap out one city. Because in all fairness, actually, you're only losing 5 housing. Net. In fact, yeah, you're gaining 5 jobs, but losing 5 houses. So, replace this city, this residential thing, with another foundry. Let's get up to 15 foundries. 10 more people working those jobs, please. Plus a militarized economy. Plus everything else we can think of. We're gaining alloys bloody quickly, but even then, this is going to be expensive. And as for the Stellar Devourer, of course, yeah, we've got ourselves one special project here, back from whence it came, which we shouldn't really say, because whence means from where, but never mind. What we can do is, yeah, try and reignite the sun to make this place a bit more habitable. It can kill the scientists. I think it's a 30% chance, so good luck, because you're doing it. And I've also redeployed Grand Murder over to Prosperity, purely so that they can actually get on with their upgrades over there. So, we can afford that immediately, or can we? Are we waiting for... No, we've got plenty of ability to do that right now. So, Prosperity should be doing that. And that doesn't actually impact the shipyard, because that's done at the... Oh, is it done here? I thought that was done... No, I thought that was done at the Starbase queue, not the shipyard queue. Fine, that's annoying, because, yeah, it means that's actually clogging up the production. Ah, but because there's multiple star bases, I can actually upgrade in one while producing in another. Okay, fine. So it basically fills up one shipyard. Though, rather annoyingly, yeah, that means you can't actually split it between three. Because, like, if you've got 3 shipyards, then shouldn't you be able to do it, like, 3 times as fast? And... have we actually murdered anyone? No, we have not murdered anyone. And we've got a new Gaia planet for our troubles too. And on New Cornwall, we've got plenty of amenities, so we don't need this Hollow Theatre. Let's replace it with a nanite transmuter. Very, very nice indeed. And it doesn't actually even need to be run. It doesn't create a job. It just works through magic, presumably being worked by nanites that convert themselves into something. Still, with all these exotic gas refineries now up and running, I assume we're making a big... Yeah, we can actually tone down our purchase of exotic gases, which is good, because those are getting expensive. So let's actually, yeah, tone that down quite significantly. Much better. And that means we're spending less over here, though. Oh, minerals. Minerals in deficit at this exact moment in time. Yeah, because of all the extra bloody jobs at the alloy foundries, of course. And here's a surprise. We've got trouble with Varna. Pirates all the way up there, though. Ah. In some ways, I'm not too surprised. Hang on. Go over to the trade map. Yeah. More traders. Bloody hell, yes. Traders actually being shipped all the way from over there. But that's very, very small trade. That's... It's also almost entirely through Ganvia space. There's not much we can really do about that, so that's a bit of a shame. Luckily, it's not a huge amount at all, and it's never going to grow. The bigger problem is Eden. Eden turned out to not be so great inside the system of Eden Odia, which unfortunately is shipping some value. Some flipping value. Yeah, trade protection is only 7, and we're trying to ship 80 through it. This is going to be a little bit on the annoying side, isn't it? Yes, we better actually build some protection over an Eden Prime. And then, yeah, Vala's doesn't belong to me anymore. I could have Ospra, just slightly... Ah, but then Ospra's a bit busy. Okay, what about Camthrin? Could I actually just retrofit Camthrin to provide a bit more trade protection as far as Varna? That's probably a good idea. Unfortunately, Camthrin is dedicated at this exact moment in time to being nothing but an anchorage together with a single hangar bay. I assume that is to provide protection for Prosperity. So, might be a better bet as Prosperity is... Hang on, what route does Prosperity take? Prosperity actually ships itself down over there through Asgard and... ouch, that actually sort of hurts, yes. Right, we might need to add some additional protection. The protection there is insignificant, to be honest. I mean, even with Ospra and Camthrin trying to protect that place, there's still significant piracy. Though I say that, it's saying 100% of traders making it through. So hang on there. Trade route, max piracy, 0, 34, 42, plus 7. Ah, it's just okay. But I assume, yes, at some point it might become a problem. Okay, what we need to do really is have Camthrin just reach a little bit further north, but the real issue is going to be the fact that Cornwall is almost certainly not bothering to defend itself, but does have a small fleet that if we're lucky, they'll actually be moving backwards and forwards here. Yes, there's some piracy going on. Right, so, Camthrin, you need to be adjusted. We'll give you a new hangar bay right there. Lovely. And yeah, Ospra has one hangar bay to provide additional support to Hokrai down here and Himpra up north. But we can't go throwing out I guess we could throw out 1 anchorage. That will provide extra strength to Lothorius, but still wouldn't extend to Varna. You know what? We've got spare capacity on the star bases right now. I kind of may as well just put down a new one at Lothorius and then just basically, yeah, slap down a couple of hangar bases, but other than that, just makes a new anchorage. That'll do. And in the meantime, of course, rapid response will do its job. Get over there, murder those guys. Also, bloody hell, just look at rapid response go. That is flipping flying. Well done, lads. You are doing your jobs. Ah, yes, and I never looked at that Gaia world we've created over where the Stellar Devourer was. It's got natural beauty for immigration pull and 5% happiness. Size 19. It's got itself dust caverns. That is moat harvesting traps. Other than that, surprisingly low on the old districts. Nothing special, to be honest. Leave it be. Especially when mighty, mighty Somerset is already down on the ground. Beautiful. So, of course, we know what this thing needs to do. It needs minerals, because the beast has awakened and we're not keeping up right now. So, build, and then build some more. Though after that point, probably build a city. Oh, and there's the Ascension perk of the Unity ambitions. Very, very nice indeed. And, ooh, the Paradise Dome, it does exist. Okay. That's nice. That might actually let us grow. Eden turned out to be not so great. With amenities 10 and housing 7 on a single slot. Yeah, if we just built nothing but them, but then actually it doesn't do anything. It doesn't produce a thing. It's just, you know, nice. And eats rare crystals, which are rare and thus expensive. But you know what? Let's get it done. Because, yeah, basically that's... Is that technically an upgrade for the luxury housing? I don't know. But that has given me a brand new slot right here. And go on then. As people have been very, very firm about this, saying Evolutionary Master is better than I've been giving it credit, I'm gonna take it. Go on then, why flipping not? So, we're gonna get that done. And gone are the days when survival of our species was at the mercy of chance. Now we just do it ourselves in test tubes. Spot on. Now, the reason to do that is that actually introduces a bunch of new things I can gene mod in, improved versions of existing ones. So, my science centers are Asprania and Foundation. It's time to check what the majority of my scientists are actually doing in terms of species. So, we've got some cunning Romans and some wise owls over there, together with... Okay, 1 Beldross. Well, sorry, a Beldross who shagged an owl at some point. Okay, gotcha. And as a result, the children became intelligent. Well done. You made good life choices there. Foundation, it's a lot more of a blend, because there's a lot of half and half. But then again, hang on. What are you guys doing here? Well, I suppose technically you're natural sociologists, but... I feel like you potentially could be doing more important work elsewhere, especially when there are... Well, okay, that's actually not a Roman. That's a Roman that shagged a snail. Okay, this is very confusing all of a sudden. Okay, it's mainly wise owls. If we convert the wise owls and the cunning Romans, then at that point we should see a significant increase in our scientific output. Now, if I create myself a brand new owl template, can I actually apply that to the entire... species? Yes, I could apply it to everybody. That's probably a good idea. So create a new template here. Though before we do that, I think we actually need to do a little bit of renaming here, which is, yeah, the ultimate owl, of which there's literally 1. Most of them were lost when Cornwall was given its independence. I should check in on Cornwall. They're probably not doing so well. But yeah, we've literally got 1 ultimate owl, which for some reason I'm not allowed to modify, so I can't change its name. So this is going to get very, very confusing here, but alright, fine. Because now I shall create the truly ultimate owls. Spot on. Now, obviously I want to keep industrious and thrifty anyway. I could just keep deviant to give me the extra point. Honestly, it doesn't matter. Wasteful, it's definitely worth actually getting out of there. So, what I want to actually add in is... Hang on. Where are my new perks? There should be new perks here. Hang on, do I need to wait to the end of the next month? Ah, no. I need to do genetic resequencing. Right, fine. Don't worry. We haven't quite cracked the, genetic atom yet. We're just, on our way. Screw the Paradise Dome. Get on with genetic resequencing and advanced traits. Never mind, fine. We'll get on with it soon. Okay, so right now, one shipyard in Ospra is doing upgrades. By any chance, does that mean that the Murder of Ganvius could also do its upgrades right now? So waiting for Starbase to upgrade the ships at Ospra. Okay, but there is an empty shipyard right there. Could you just do it there? I don't know whether it is or not, because I'm not actually gaining a timer over here, but I think it actually might be. You might be able to do multiple upgrades, which would be great. That would save a lot of flipping time. And if so, that means only First Murder is left. That's going to cost me, yeah, 8,400. Okay, that's a little bit on the expensive side. How else could we speed that up? When I say speed that up, I mean just acquire like 2,000 alloys. 2,000 alloys is a lot. Well, I say it's not. I'm about to make that in about 5 months, so that's fine, actually, yes. But here we go. Ruler level cap up by 2, and with that, we open up the final slot. Be flipping beautiful, and oh, right. You got to be very careful here. I might want to hold on to this one for the time being, because you don't need to spend it the moment it becomes available. Colossus is... It's nice to have for roleplay. Honestly, you do not need it. It is completely 100% unnecessary. Galactic Contender can be useful, but I believe the fleet I'm creating should actually render that unnecessary. One Vision and Mastery of Nature we can do without. Executive Vigor, I really flipping like. I genuinely do, but I never take it because it's just not good enough to justify using an actual perk on. You know what? I'd love a second Arcology. I genuinely would, because the one I've had so far has been incredibly useful to me. So basically having double the beast would be spectacular, but I think I need to hold off. Yeah, I'm going to hold off for the minute. I'll make my mind up down the line. And now I'm actually gaining Unity at a very decent rate. So that means I should now have... all of the Unity things. They live alongside edicts, by the way. Is that where they live? They live at the bottom there. There we go. So research speed up by 20% for 75,000. Okay, so that will take me about 5 or 6 years to open up. So basically at the moment I can be running 2 of these simultaneously. So... what else could we do here? Architectural Renaissance is not so good. Hearts and Minds is not so good. Yeah, so this one, Omniferous Acquisition. Monthly minerals up 33%. That's not bad. Grand Fleet, if you can just keep it running. Upkeep down. Naval capacity up by 20%. Will to power, influence up. I can do without the influence. Yeah, probably. If I could actually just maintain Scientific Revolution and Grand Fleet... that would probably be pretty damn good, and I should just be able to afford that as long as I keep my trade policy on Marketplace of Ideas. Right, ship a couple of unemployed people from Asprania over to Somerset, and we could do with, yeah, a little bit of a boost to the old growth rates here. Right, what direction do we need to take Somerset in? We've already got basic mining jobs starting to spring up here. Could just have, yeah, as a starting point, just getting the gene clinics down. Amenities and some pop growth speed never flipping hurts. And yep, confirmation, we most definitely have all of the upgrades happening simultaneously. So sorry, I misspoke earlier. It looks like it's waiting, but it is actually genuinely doing all of the upgrades at the same time. So every shipyard can handle its own upgrade. But for some reason you don't get given a timer, which I feel like you should do, because why wouldn't you have a timer? Ah yes, and one important thing as well, over at Ospra, which is now a citadel, the Titan Assembly Yards. Oh yes, that is why all my fleets are currently sitting at... hang on, what even are you all sitting at? Yeah, you're all sitting at pretty much 184, because complete. You're all waiting for your Titan. Though, to be honest, the Titan is not necessarily the best bet right now, because the Titan, you don't have an option as to what it actually does. So, hang on, if we just go over to the ship designer here, the Titan has absolutely no choice but to actually have the Perdition Beam and then whatever you want on large. It doesn't have any medium slots. So, arguably, I'd be better off just scrapping the Titan plan and just actually shoving an extra couple of battleships in. For the war against the Fallen Empire, they would be more useful, yes. And the fleet designer is freaking out slightly in terms of its UI because there's so much going on right now, but yeah, I can't afford all of that just yet. So that's gonna... oh, I've just tanked the economy by using 2 penny flipping alloys. Everything's under control. It's fine. The economy is most definitely not crashing. Do not believe everything you read in the newspapers. Also, how long have you been independent? Right, so they're rhinos, but they're calling themselves the Raxar. They're just trying to confuse me after the apocalypse run at this point. And in fact, they're willing to actually become a subsidiary immediately, so welcome aboard. Now, as for Cornwall, you guys have actually built some ships, so I assume you're not doing too badly. Okay, effectively no crime. Stability at 61%. They are losing minerals and energy, so they're bankrupt. I'm not sure how you're actually surviving, but whatever. Maybe you've got enough money. No, you can't possibly have enough mining platforms to offset 70. Yeah, the problem is they're not very good at replacing, because what they blatantly should be doing is scrapping some of these agricultural districts, and oh, they can't because they're bankrupt. Okay, what if I just gave you some money? If I just gave you some money, how would that go? In fact, that's a thought. You guys have 10 bajillion food. You've got more food than you could possibly ever eat. And I need food. There we go. I'll trade you minerals for food for 30 years. And that should actually help you out quite a lot. They're happy with that. Now, does that by any chance help you balance your economy? Well, a little bit anyway. Not enough, but maybe it'll help you get back on your feet at least a little bit. Ah, now here's interesting. I'm assuming I shipped too many people over to Somerset without enough housing, so I've got an event here. So, as a result of, yeah, the lack of housing, so I've actually got to clear those, though. Hang on. Sprawling slums is actually a good thing, because isn't that the one that just kind of provides, yeah, a free population? There's plenty of housing. What are you on about? Yeah, clearing sprawling slums just creates a free wise owl. So basically you're just saying you're gifting me a free population and pretending it's bad. And 200 energy. 200 energy for a free owl. That is not bad at all. We do, however, have unemployed all over the Empire right now. Huge amounts of unemployed all over the Empire. Right, okay. We need jobs. And what we could probably do is, yeah, replace the doctors with office jobs. Alright, everyone can just have an office job. That'll keep people nice and occupied for now. Devon has also got problems. Okay, create more scientists. What about Verquilid? 5 unemployed on Verquilid. Oh, this isn't good. Okay. You know what? We've got enough food for the time being. Replace one of these hydroponics farms. That's only 2 jobs with, yeah, office jobs. Just create more trade value. It's fine. Though actually, bear in mind, I don't need to panic because unemployment under social welfare isn't actually an issue. These people are not sad. They are very, very happy indeed, and they're actually generating unity. So floating a few unemployed people, not a bad thing at all for my system of government. And the Galactic Farmer Ganvius Autocracy would also be willing to accept subsidiary status. Spot on. I'm going to offer them that right now. So we're actually going to bring these guys back in the folds. So there we go. That's nice. We've got rid of that horrible blue bit right there. And also someone else is fighting. Who's actually fighting? It is, the Northern Federation taking on the Trading Geckos. Not a major deal, to be honest. They've gone to war before. The borders never seem to shift that much. And the First Fleet has finished its upgrades. We have now got ourselves, that's actually a dreadnought, so that doesn't count, ignore that one. There we are, the brand new inspiring bloodbath. It's downright flipping weird. It's so weird, but it is basically built from the ground up to be capable of tearing apart a fallen empire. It can do it, alright? It can 100% do it. And there's the genetic resequencing. Okay, now we can do that. And also food is becoming a problem. Continue improving the food situation. Okay, now we can create the truly ultimate owls. So, probably keep Deviant. Get rid of Wasteful. I can, if I want to, now take off Industrious, but why would I want to do that? Of course, I can keep it. And yeah, there's a bunch of new stuff now showing up at the bottom. So I can make them delicious. Probably not a good idea, because no one's livestock, because we're not monsters. Nerve stapled. So better at doing basic jobs, but as a result of that, yes, fine. But again, monstrous, don't do that. Fertile, pop growth speed plus 30% as opposed to rapid breeders, which is 10%. So a big step up. And pop housing usage goes down. But honestly, yeah, now that overpopulation's a bit of a problem, you probably want to avoid that one, to be honest. Then we've got ourselves robust. Habitability plus 30%. Resources from... Is that just any job? Wow, resources from just jobs up by 5%. Very, very nice indeed. Leader lifespan plus 50 years. Or, here's the big one. Erudite. Research output plus 20% and leader level cap plus 1. And I believe that's versus... what's intelligence? Okay, it's 10%. I thought it was just 5% up, but no, it's 10% up. So, if I actually just, put that on, I'm assuming that blocks out... yeah, you can't have intelligent and erudite. They are not actually compatible. Okay, so these guys, we've still got 1 pick left, and I've got 3 points. Or, I could get rid of deviant, then I'd only have... hang on, then I'd have 2 points, but 2 picks. So let's put deviant back on, because deviant is the most insignificant thing that gives you an extra point. So I've still got 3 points, but only 1 pick. So here's the thing. I could give myself natural engineers and physicists, but then again, hang on. Hang on. I've already got... yeah, my wise owls down here already actually have the intelligent trait, but they picked up natural engineers and then natural physicists. Yeah, hang on, the wise owls down here might be doing a better job, because is that a freebie that the worm gifted to me? I think it is, because if I modify the wise owls who have already been modified by the worm, then I'm allowed to have erudite, industrious, thrifty. Natural physicist gets to just hang around anyway. So that is, yeah, huge increase in the actual output there. I've already got industrious. I was hoping to be able to take very strong, but that's only plus 5% worker output. I could take strong for 2%, which is reasonable. What else could I do here? Make leaders last longer, reasonable. Conservationist, yeah, pop consumer goods usage down by 10%, again, not bad. Communal for pop housing down. Again, reasonable. That just means you can have 10% more people on a planet, which is not so bad at all. I'll probably do without traditional for Unity. Unity's fine. We've got other traditional people inside the Empire, because this is a template I want to apply to everybody. So, yeah, actually, I'm pretty happy with this. This is going to be my new template. So, erudite combined with natural physicist. So, very clever, and especially clever when it comes to physics. Together with very good at trade jobs, very good at mineral-related jobs, and a little bit more as well. You know what? Screw it. This is going to be the truly ultimate owl here. Now, is there any reason not to actually take this template and just basically put it everywhere? Because... okay, if I actually apply it to the wise owls who are over on Foundation, that means they'll drop 20% inhabitability, but this means I get to do it all in one go. It's probably worth it. I'm going to apply the template to literally the entire species. Yeah, let's get it done. And that's only going to take flipping 7 months. Spot on. Oh, the job is done already. The truly ultimate owl species is now all across the galaxy, and... what is that going to do? Right now we're on minus 69 in terms of minerals, but that extra strength should be very useful. In fact, actually, the big one. Yeah, right now we're on 700, 900, 581. So, what's about to happen here? Because that should be 720, 930, 583. Okay, that's a more modest jump than I was expecting. Then I suppose there are a lot of cunning Romans also doing that work, yes. Speaking of which, I think we need to make some improvements to the Romans too. So obviously those guys become erudite, that's absolutely fine. We'll give them natural engineer as well, so they're very good in that sort of an area. They're already enduring, but honestly they don't make great leaders, so we could just pull that down. And deviant would give me, actually I've already got the points here. Right, what else can we do for you guys? Balance of probability, you guys are probably working as clerks all over the shop. May as well give you thrifty. And then if I take deviant away from you, I have 3 trait points and 2 picks. So yeah, 2 1-point picks that are just nice to have. Here we go, conservationist, so consumer goods down. That'll save me a few consumer goods, and I could do with saving some of them. And even though it'll leave me with a spare point at the end, let's give you communal as well. So yeah, less housing, less consumer goods, and very, very good at research. And I think that the really cunning Romans will just be applied to the entire flipping species. Oh, the next upgrade is done. Grand Murder is now complete. I think it's just awaiting its final battleship to arrive right now. My shipyards are just firing on all cylinders at the minute. Oh, and Eden actually Prime is down as well. in my tiny little exclave over there. Oh, and we've even got our first robot leader, who is 8 years old and is also immortal, so she'll never die. So go on then, as you're synthetic, you actually get credits and minerals from your jobs. Go on, I see no reason why not. Let's let a robot run this place. Though now I think about it, why wouldn't we let the robot run Foundation? That's the big mineral hive of the Empire. And you, my good man, you're architectural. So you get over here, because we'll be building a whole bunch of stuff here. That's much better. And in come the cunning Romans. Sorry, the really cunning Romans. That's probably the most important thing we need to do there. Okay, have we already had the update in the science right there? Alright, another nice little uptick. Up to nearly 1,000 in society research as well. Blimey. And somebody's swearing at me. Okay, it's the Emissarans. That's interesting. I would have thought you guys would have come round by now, to be honest. And no, they are disloyal. Luckily, they're pathetically weak, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, to be honest, when they were attacked by the Grey Tempest, I did just sort of not bother helping them and help everyone else and not them. So I can see why they would be a little bit annoyed, yes. Oh, and here's a surprise. Eden Prime, the proper new one that is, has gained an odd factory. Okay. Eden Prime, what's going on here? What surprise do you have for me? Odd factory worker jobs. A well-crafted factory that produces high-value resources left on the planet by a different civilization. Okay, and that's just producing... Oh! It's just producing alloys. Okay. Good, I suppose. And it has taken a while, but the fleets have been upgraded. Every single fleet right next to the massive black hole they just sort of lived by is now fully ready for action against a fallen empire. Every single one of them retrofitted to bypass the incredibly tough shields and armor of a fallen empire. So, oh yes. Yeah. I'm pretty happy with this state of affairs. Sure, the combined fleet power may only be in the range of 250,000, but we should be slicing through those Fallen Empire ships like a knife through butter. So next time, ladies and gentlemen, war. War versus the Fallen Empire materialists. And the problem with that war is it increases the chances of the other Fallen Empires waking up. But if these lads wake up, cause some trouble up north, not my problem. Not in my neighborhood, alright? It's going to be 100% fine. So we'll see if my plan works out next time, ladies and gentlemen. But in the meantime, I've been John. This has been Many a True Nerd, and this has been Stellaris MegaCorp. Thank you very much, and goodbye. This is the face of death, okay? This is what my sudden death looks like. Do not engage before we arrive. Do not engage. What are you doing? I specifically said don't. Oh, no.
No, John.
Oh, he likes that. The Romans touched me.